Oh, incredibly proud. I think when you look at, I mean, God Almighty, first half, I was really disappointed with how we played first half. But I think second half we were great. I mean, I think Rochester deserve enormous credit. I thought first half they played very well. I thought they really did. But again, the impact that Mark Anthony and Brian were able to make, and I think it epitomises really what we've been able to do through the course of the season, where we've had guys that can step in and impact the game and affect the game. So it was great to see that, and obviously very pleased for the players that they've been able to get to the Eastern Conference final again, because they've worked so hard through the course of not just tonight but through the course of the whole year. It's very difficult to get here. I think people don't probably fully understand this year more than any. The Eastern Conference, the league is completely changing. When you look at the dynamics of the USL, you look at the teams that are now in the USL to even 3 years ago, it's completely different. You've got Tampa Bay, you've got Joe Cole, you've got Marcel Schaefer, you've got lads that have played at the very highest level. You've got Didier Drogba in Phoenix. You've got players that are have achieved and played at the very highest level, and are coming to the USL. So the league is completely different. I mean, I think to get to the Eastern Conference is great, but equally, we've been there twice and we haven't won. So there's no point in getting there if you're not going to win. So we need to be dialed in and we need to make sure that we try and win the game. But whoever we play, there'll be a desperation from them to go and win the game. So it's important that the squad, again, takes heed of what we're saying, and that we do focus on the process. And throughout the course of the year, we've been able to do that really well. We've been able to stick to our process and be really sort of consistent in our approach to every game. So this week will be the same. I mean, I wouldn't say there was worry. I thought second half, I felt a lot better at the start of the second half when we started to play. I thought we started to come into the game more. We started to get some shots off. Their keepers made some good saves. I thought, really, I mean, it's very corny to say, but if ever there was a game of two halves, that was it. I thought Rochester first half were very good. We were very fortunate to go in 0-0 at half time. I was pleased to get to that changing room where it was 0-0. So they deserve an awful lot of credit for that. But at that second half, we came out and we were strong. We had a bit of bite to us with some shots, and we looked a lot more dangerous second half. Multiple things. I think if I go through all that, we'll be here all night. I think for us there was, again, half-time becomes a really important time for us. And again, I have to give great credit to Niall and to George. They worked really hard first half. We just wanted to make a tactical change, to change a couple of things. And the two guys were up, shaking everybody's hand, wishing everybody the very best. And then you've Mark Anthony and Brian that are going on and impact the game. So, again, it's the players deserve enormous credit for the selflessness that they were able to show tonight. Well, in Brian's case and Mark, I mean, what we encourage our players to do is when you're on the bench is not just to watch the game, is to watch where your opponents are actually playing. So if I'm playing centre midfield, I want our guys watching their centre midfielders and watching where the space is. So, again, we've spoken to a lot of the guys about that. Brian, Brian was really unfortunate not to start the game, but I think Brian's ability to come on and impact the game has been so powerful for us. The dilemma for me is, do I start him or do I bring him on? And I was speaking to him yesterday about it. I mean, I had to sleep on it again, because when you look at, he's come on and scored, he's come on and scored again. So then it's, well, do we start with that and try to score, or do we bring him on? And his ability to actually analyse the game and to go on and impact it, again, is a real value to that. So I think tactically there's a lot of things that our guys have been, we try to teach. And I think there's a lot of things that we try and speak about and try to influence, and it's fantastic when you see guys that can go on and actually really impact the game. Brian, Mark and all the players deserve enormous credit for the character that they showed as well, to be able to push through and go on and win the game. At times, but no, I mean, I think we can still be better. I think first half we're passing the ball, but I think we're passing it without really a purpose. We like to have possession with a purpose. We like to move the ball to create some space and then to play where the space is. I thought first half we're passing for passing's sake. I thought second half we passed with a little bit more quality. We still had too many cheap turnovers through the course of the game. But for me, when you look at the character that the guys showed, I think they deserve an enormous pat on the back. It was fantastic to see that type of grit, and then that little bit of quality to go on and win the game was tremendous. Huge, absolutely huge. And I'd like to thank all the supporters, because obviously it's a really cold night, so to see everyone come out and support us and cheer us on, they deserve enormous credit for that. So hopefully we can get the same next week and get everyone out, and hopefully it's a little bit warmer.